All right, let's talk about something that's pretty much every homeowner's worst nightmare, but it's something we don't really understand until it's too late. We're talking about water damage. It's quiet, it's sneaky, and honestly, it can happen to any of us.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think is the single most destructive force that can hit your home? You might think fire, maybe wind, but you'd be wrong. Yep, it's water. And the craziest part? The absolute biggest disasters almost always start from something you'd barely even notice, like a tiny, insignificant drip.
So where's the real danger coming from? I mean, how does it all start? To really get a handle on the risk, we have to look for water's secret travel routes into your home. Let's dig into a real-world example to see just how clever this stuff can be.
Okay, let's take a look at a place like Westland, Michigan. It's a perfect storm, really, of how local conditions can just team up against a house. You've got this heavy clay soil that basically acts like a funnel, sending water right to the foundation. On top of that, you're dealing with aging pipes and drains from the 50s, those brutal Michigan winters with the constant freezing and thawing, and a river nearby. It's literally a recipe for disaster.
Now, you might not live in Westland, and that's the whole point. The big takeaway here is that every single home, including yours, has its own unique set of vulnerabilities. Could be a tiny crack in the foundation, an old water heater, a leaky pipe you don't even know about. You just have to know what you're looking for.
So, how do you spot a problem before it turns into a total nightmare? Well, listen up because your house is actually trying to talk to you. You know that musty smell in the basement you keep ignoring? That's not just old house smell, that's a huge red flag. Or maybe you've seen this white, chalky stuff on the concrete walls. That's called efflorescence. These aren't just little cosmetic quirks. These are your house screaming for help.
Okay, so let's say water gets in. From that moment on, a clock starts ticking, and it is relentless. These first 48 hours are absolutely 100% critical. What you do or don't do in this window changes everything.
The damage doesn't just happen all at once. It's a cascade. In the very first hour, everything porous is just soaking it all up like a sponge. Fast forward to 24 hours, and now your drywall is swelling, your wood floors are warping, furniture is literally coming apart. But the real deadline, the one you cannot miss, is 48 hours.
48 hours. Why is that number so important? Why do we keep coming back to it? Because that's the magic number for mold. After 2 days, mold and mildew colonies can get a foothold and start to spread. And that's when a water problem becomes a huge health problem.
And look, don't just take my word for it. The experts are really clear on this one. As the source material says, if you wait several days, you're pretty much guaranteed to be paying for a full-blown mold removal job on top of the water damage itself. So yeah, procrastinating here is going to cost you. Big time.
So, the worst has happened. Water's everywhere, you're stressed out, it feels like total chaos. What happens next? Well, let's pull back the curtain and look at the professional restoration playbook. This is how the experts take control of the situation.
This right here is the turning point. When certified pros walk in the door, that feeling of panic just evaporates. It stops being this overwhelming emergency and transforms into a calm, step-by-step process of getting your home back.
And they're not just winging it either. There's a method to the madness, a 3-step playbook. Step 1 is all about attack mode. Get that standing water out now. Step 2 is where the real science comes in, structural drying. This is way more than just aiming a few fans at the wall. They use special equipment to pull moisture out of places you can't even see. And only then, after they've verified everything is bone dry, can they move to step 3, restoration and rebuilding.
But wait a second. How do they know it's dry? It's not like they just touch the wall and say, "Yep, feels good." This is where things get really interesting. We're talking about the actual science of drying.
First things first, they have to figure out what kind of water they're dealing with, because not all water is created equal. Category 1 is clean water, say from a burst supply pipe. Category 2 is gray water, like from a dishwasher overflow. It's dirty, can make you sick. But Category 3, black water, this is the stuff of nightmares. We're talking sewage, flood water. It is seriously hazardous and loaded with viruses and bacteria. You need full-on safety protocols to handle it. Okay, now here is probably the single biggest and most dangerous mistake a homeowner can make. You have a little leak, you clean it up, you touch the wall and you think, feels dry, think we're fine. This is a massive risk.
Because here's the reality check. Professionals don't guess. They don't use their hands, they use technology. They have these calibrated moisture meters and thermal imaging cameras that let them literally see through your walls and find trapped pockets of water that your sense of touch would never, ever detect.
And this chart right here,
This shows you just how massive that difference is. What feels dry to you is basically 0 on this chart, but to a professional, truly dry drywall has less than 1% moisture. A water-damaged wall can be sitting there with over 17% moisture and still feel totally dry to you. And that hidden moisture? That's basically a 5-star resort for mold.
Okay, so the fans are running, the water is gone, the immediate emergency is over. But now you've got a whole new list of questions, right? Practical stuff, logistics. Let's tackle some of the most common ones.
And probably the biggest question on your mind, the one everyone asks, is who's paying for all this? Does my insurance policy actually cover it?
Well, the answer is, it's complicated. Generally, your policy will cover sudden accidental stuff, like a pipe bursting, but it usually will not cover gradual damage from, say, a slow leak you never fixed. And flooding from a storm or a river? That requires a totally separate flood insurance policy. Sump pumps are a real gray area too. The absolute key here is to read your policy before disaster strikes.
You're also going to hear a couple of industry terms thrown around, mitigation and restoration. They sound similar, but they are totally different things. Think of mitigation as the emergency response team. They stop the bleeding and prevent things from getting worse. Restoration is the rebuilding phase. They're the surgeons who put everything back together. You have to have mitigation before you can even think about restoration.
All right, all of this brings us to what might be the most important question of all. When is the right time to pick up the phone and call for help?
The answer is simple, and it's not soon. It's immediately. The second you realize you have a water problem that's bigger than a mop and a bucket can handle, don't wait. Don't let a little problem fester into a huge, expensive, moldy crisis. Remember, that 48-hour clock is always ticking.
You know, every home has a story. It's made up of memories and moments, the whole fabric of your life. The real question is, what's the next chapter for your home going to be? Is it going to be a story about preventable damage and regret? Or will it be one where you were prepared? The choice really is yours.